What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran, and I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading today. It's going to be for the divine feminines, okay? So this is going to be like an empowerment message, right? So it's not necessarily about your masculines, which I know sometimes is just disappointing because we all love them so much. Oh my goodness. But ultimately, this is to serve a higher purpose and letting you guys know that you're on the right path and giving you guys guidance and making sure that you know your next right move. And at the end, of course, I will be talking about your the outcome of the relationship. Okay, but the way it goes is going to be reading your guys' energy. Okay, your near future and present tense energy, and then looking at your head and your heart space, then guidance from spirit, and then of course outcome between you and your masculine, the most likely outcome, right? And I'm really just stalling for time because all my cards are upside down and mixed up, so just fixing them. So really nothing I'm saying here is truly important, but just bear with me and I will almost be there. But I hope you guys had a good week. I don't know what day it is. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday, but I'm not too sure. And the energies recently have been very heavy. A lot of stuff in October came up to the surface in order to be dealt with, but on the bright side, November feels much more like a transitional state. There's like a powerful full moon coming up too, I believe on the 28th, which is 2 days away, right? So, anyway, without further ado, this is the reading for the 26th, which is Saturday, basically till now until really the 1st of November. Alright, 1st or 2nd, I think. But let me now start off with energy for you guys, okay? And then later on, I'm going to read some cards from this deck, okay? Oracle cards or whatever. Alright, so, cool. Alright, so, dear Spirit, please give me an accurate reading for the Divine Feminine's energy. Okay. So again, I do these readings for the feminines, just so you know, you guys understand where you're at. Okay. Really is just a message about empowerment and stuff. Okay. So the first card that we got energetically is the Seven of Wands. This is about feeling like having to defend your position. Okay. It really is an energy about being not necessarily guarded, but about being aware and combative, like being, kind of like to put it into a real world circumstance, is that there might be like pressures and stuff going on, and so you fight back against them. Meaning you're not gonna let life control you or beat you down, right? You're gonna hold your position and you're gonna defend it because you know what in your heart is yours and you're going to keep going. So there's that energy really where you guys are at right now. I'm definitely in this energy. And you'll have to forgive me, my nose is sniffing as if, I don't know why it's all runny, as if I just did 9 lines of Coke or something. I don't know why it's so runny, but it is what it is. What this is about that energy, about being, it's not even necessarily defensive, but there is a little bit of that, It's just about being like, you've worked so hard and you're not giving up, and you're just gonna, if people come to you with some BS or whatever, you're gonna defend yourself, right? It's being in that type of energy, being ready to defend what's yours, what you believe in, okay? And that's a very powerful energy to be in, but it might be kind of exhausting, right? It's not like necessarily a free energy to being, but it is necessary, and that's what this energy feels like. It feels like you're in this necessary type of combative, protective energy, right? We then have the King of Wands, so this is a really great energy for a lot of you guys. For everyone it's good energy, but a lot of you guys might be entrepreneurial, taking new initiatives, doing things like that. The King of Wands is that type of energy. It's about that charismatic type of ambition, right? So there's that passionate energy. So a lot of you guys are having the necessary energy to continue forward, okay? That's what the King of Wands energy is saying. So even if you might feel a little bit down right now, King of Wands energy really suggesting that you're going to be able to find that inner courage, those inner abilities that you actually have that are quite natural to you, which is going to allow you to keep moving forward. Okay? What else do we got? It really is a great card for for any creative projects as well. Okay, so if you guys are worried about maybe starting something at this time, in the near future anyway, just know that that energy is going to be there to back you up. Okay, so whatever it may be, I've actually been putting off writing. I've been less focused on writing and more focused on music recently, and I would like to switch and maybe start a little balance of both again. So I've been putting off starting a novel or a short novella or something, and I'm actually really interested in doing it again. Um, so I have the King of Wands, basically, just telling me, like it would be telling any of you, it's okay to be doing it. It's all right. The energy's there. Creative projects are all going to be successful. Okay. Now, after we have the first major arcana, so this is the Judgment card. Judgment card is all about, it's really all about decisions, okay? It's about like new things coming into your life, but before you can let those things happen, before those things do come to fruition, you kind of have to take care of the past. So you have to take any unresolved issues, okay? Now I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, just to give you guys an example of what this is like. But like the last 2 days, I have smoked so much weed. A lot of weed, guys. Like a lot of weed. Like like if you've ever had like food before, and you're like, that's a lot of food, like at a buffet, and somebody sits down across from you and their plate is just filled with shit, and you just look at them and you go, "Wow, that's a lot of food." That is the equivalent of the amount of weed that I smoked this weekend. And I have been trying to I've been putting off weed for so long, and then for whatever reason, sometimes it just comes back around and I just feel like I need it, and then I just end up feeling like shit. And then I had Denny's. Like, who the fuck eats Denny's? Like, if you're still going to Denny's, please don't go to Denny's, because it's awful. But I did have a cake batter milkshake, and that shit was probably worth it. But anyway, the point is, it's just like gross kind of heavy energy to be in. And what I mention that is because, not just to bash on Denny's, though they do suck, is the idea that in order to move forward, to allow new energy to come in, I kind of have to let go of those things. And those things do kind of crop up back in your life to help you understand on a deeper, intuitive level, that you do need to quit those things, or that you do need to move on from something, or let heavy energies go, right? And the only reason that I'm smoking weed, it's not like there's anything inherently wrong with weed. That's a whole nother discussion about getting over addictions. This should never blame the actual substance that you're using. It's never that thing's fault. But it's emotional. It's emotional numbing, right? It's a very emotional time. And so I've been trying to deal with a lot of stresses are going on. So I've been dealing with it not necessarily through meditation the past 3 or 4 days, or through relaxation or going out in nature, but by smoking weed. And at one point in my life that would have worked, but there's a lot of energy and creativity and changes going on in my life. Not a good idea to probably get high for 4 days straight, all right? So that's just a personal experience. Judgment card is there to say basically the same thing. If there's something in your life right now that you feel is coming towards you, then look at what's happening right now in your life. Maybe something you're struggling with. Doesn't have to be anything like I was talking about, but essentially it's here to say that stuff needs to be let go, and you make those decisions about the past, and then you can move forward and get your success, okay? So we then have the Four of Wands. Okay, that's a great card, especially to have after the Judgment, all right? Because the Four of Wands is kind of like a twin flamey card, if you can call it any card that, but it does talk about success, marriage, happiness, resolution, couples coming together, right? It's just a great card. The Four of Wands is a good indicator, positive card for anything to do with partnerships, relationships, businesses, creative projects, okay? It's all about that type of union, right? A definite renewal, okay? It's a very positive energy to have. So again, literally what I was just saying, feel safe to make the changes that you want, because as you do make the changes that you need to make, even if you struggle making them, it is ultimately going to lead to something better, because you always have to remember that what you feel called to let go, though it may be difficult, and you may not know that something else good will replace it, you can trust that something else will, right? Because, and you can prove it, is because, again, with me, I never smoked weed till I was 23. I'm 26 years old now. Weed was probably such an instrumental tool in my awakening. And I mean that in the most positive, it was so amazing. I remember through marijuana, I learned so much about my own soul, my own angels, guides. It was an incredible thing. And it came into my life right when I needed it. And it was beautiful. And it lasted maybe a year. and then like the last like 6 months it's been something that's just been negative, kind of more than positive. And recently it's like I just gotta stop because there's no point anymore. It doesn't get me high. It's not like it doesn't, it gets me kind of inspired, and it doesn't really. And then I lose it, and I'm tired a lot, and I just sleep till 1, and it's like that's not shit. Like this is not my life. You know what I mean? And while I might have trouble kicking it, I have to trust that something good will also come into my life, because weed came into my life at one point and it really helped. Okay? So it's always about letting go and going through changes and transitions, right? And the only way to do that is to find some type of center in yourself, feeling safe that everything's going to be okay, all right? And the Four of Wands is saying, everything is going to be okay. So make the decisions that you need to make right now. If you can, over the next 2 weeks, focus on decisions in your personal life that you guys need to make. Keep making those personal decisions. Even if they're difficult, trust that they're going to pay off, okay? Because we have the High Priestess. This is literally what I'm just talking about. Another major arcana here. This is about trusting your intuition. Also about connecting to the divine creator. The divine creator. I've never said that sentence in my life. However you see it. Trust in that, right? The universe, God, whatever else. Buddha, the Jedi, whatever. The idea here is trust in that higher being, trust in your higher self, trust in what you are and what you truly are, because that is going to be taking you to the real truth of everything, okay? And always remember to follow your intuition. Even if everything in the 3D tells you no, even if your friends, family tells you no, always remember to trust what you understand, which is incredibly difficult, but it's difficult so you can trust it. It's difficult because taking that leap of faith on your intuition is the most important and powerful thing you can do, because one day it's going to come back to you. As long as you keep trusting, that day is going to come when you get that justice, okay? So this is just a time for, it's going to, an energy that's going to be allowing you guys to connect, okay? And then we have the Empress card, finally. So that's saying, again, great card for mothers. I know most of you are probably mothers, or at least women. But as a divine feminine card, that's kind of the Empress. So that's all about creative projects being nurtured, coming to completion, and stuff like that. So it really does talk about, because this is a divine feminine reading, saying that, you guys are going to be feeling really good again about yourselves, basically, about being that type of energy, about being the divine feminine, about being a woman, or I'm a man, so about being, just being yourselves, right? Connecting to your own sensuality, the universe, your spirit guides, your own businesses, your own creation, your own femininity, okay? Whatever it is that you guys like doing, you guys are going to be in energy, feeling more love for yourselves, okay? So ultimately, very good energy coming in. It starts off by feeling a little bit defensive, feeling like, you have to defend yourself from everybody, and, you're okay with doing that now. Before you might have shied away from conflict, but now you're like, no, I deserve to be here, I deserve my success, so I'll fight whoever I need to fight. But that attitude, of course, can only last so much longer, right, before you start to get beaten and worn and torn. The King of Wands judgment is saying that energy is going to still keep you going, but you're going to be really letting things go in order to feel renewed again. And once you make those decisions to let things go, which again might be hard to do, but you'll do it. You might not do it tonight, you might not do it tomorrow. I doubt that I will never smoke weed again, but each time I do, it's probably closer to an end result, you know what I mean? So always keep that in mind, because once that happens, once you make those decisions, whatever they may be, you're going to be feeling renewed, happy. Some type of really happy energy is going to be here, okay? And remember, energy usually lines up with events, okay? So I always read these as events and energy really taking place, coinciding with things, right? So again, Four of Wands could indicate some type of twin flame thing. Also could just indicate other relationships becoming successful or more committed, okay? Or just projects being realized. But ultimately, it's a very, very good energy to be in, okay? And especially at the end, High Priestess and the Empress, saying trust your intuition, trust your own divine feminine energy, trust your own power, and you're going to be feeling more creative, more nurturing of yourself, and just being a little bit more happier, feeling a little more free, okay? Alright, so that's your energy for the upcoming week, which is very positive, alright? Super positive, actually. Really, really good shit. Really good shit. And now, let's do your headspace, okay? So this is how you're thinking about your masculine at this time, and also any other indications that are going on within your headspace, alright? So, dear Spirit, what's the headspace for the feminines right now? Okay. So the first card that I got is the World. This is about wanting to complete a cycle. We then have the Nine of Wands, right? Defensive energy. So the Seven of Wands up there, Nine of Wands, about being guarded a little bit. And then we have the Five of Wands, okay? So that's really all the combative type of arguing type of energy going on right there. So the World comes up first to indicate that what you want, what you're really thinking about is completions of cycles. It doesn't have to be just in regards to your twin flame, although that's obviously a super important cycle that you would want completed, naturally. Nine of Wands is about being defensive, about being guarded. Might be not willing to let your guard down in regards to your twin flame relationship, especially if a lot of you guys have traveled, so to speak, so far in this journey, and what you feel best for you right now is to just take care of yourself and have this wall around your heart. It's not a negative thing at all. You need to do that in your life. But it's also the Five of Wands talking about a little bit of communication, but mostly about arguing and having to fight. All these crows right here are fighting each other. They've got these long sticks in their mouth, fighting each other. Whatever it is crows do with their spare time, that's on them. But they're all fighting, and about debates and arguments and stuff like that, okay? So a lot of you guys might be thinking about all the stuff that's basically happened between you and your divine other at this time, okay? Maybe just thinking about them a lot in general, especially with that World card. So there's like a lot of that stuff going on inside of your head right now, especially because you have the Judgment card as an energy. So this, to me, is saying that a lot of the decisions that you're going to be being made, a lot of decisions that you're going to... Shit, man, I think I just died on the inside, just trying to speak English there. I just died. Ah, shit, I just died, guys. Goodness. You ever like just start talking and then you're like, who gives a shit? Anyway, continuing on. The Nine of Wands is all about, okay, defensive energy. So what I was trying to say here is that the Judgment card might be an indicator as an energy, because it's about letting go and stuff like that, that really what you have here in your headspace as these decisions and things that you've been rehashing in your relationship with your divine other, and you might need to let that stuff go, especially if you're wanting to complete cycles and have your new beginning in the world, be successful, whatever it may be to you. You're going to have to find some type of way to let go, to lower your guard, to move forward, and to be the first one that wipes the slate clean, right? Because you guys are in charge of your own happiness. And it's extremely scary, but it is ultimately true. Right? So just remember that moving forward. But a lot of you guys right now in your headspace, definitely thinking about them a lot. Some of the conflicts, some of the arguments. Maybe the communication you do have isn't necessarily the best, or isn't what you want, but it might feel like there's just something missing as a predominant feeling that I get from this, okay? So that's your headspace right now, alright? It definitely also feels like there's a lot of stuff going on in your personal life that is, causing you to feel a little bit more stressed. So what is the feminine's heart space like at this time? So we have the Six of Wands, a lot of Wands cards going on in this reading, which is all about passion, energy, okay? Really about that connection. So the Six of Wands is about an objective being reached, success. You then have the Queen of Wands, right? So you have the King of Wands up there in the energy, Queen of Wands down here in the heart space. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is the only Pentacle card we've had so far. So in this case, in the heart space, it's going to be about, again, refusing to let go, holding on to things, whether they're memories, feelings, emotions, or the twin flame in general, not really being willing to let them go. But in this case, what's really truly saying is you still have them inside of your heart space. You're still holding on to them. Now, the Four of Pentacles is kind of a greedy energy, but the idea here is you're still holding on to them. You have refused to let them go. And even in a less negative sense, you always have them in your heart. Okay, like you're always holding on to them in some way inside your heart. Right? Because as adults, we're constantly fighting against another version, against a person, right? Against somebody who, against all odds, we still have this, or feel this connection with, and we might not even like their personality, or we might find their personality very difficult, especially if you've had past relationships or have known people, to get along with much easier. And it's just so difficult to navigate through, right? And yet on the inside, it's just that inner child who's trying to connect, right? It's just the two inner children literally trying to connect, but they can't because there's all this other shit in the way, right? But at the very core, there's always this connection that our inner child's children are holding on to, right? So you guys are always have that connection, but the adult version of us, the logical, the 3D person, the conditioned person, is having to really navigate through all of these types of things, not just with a relationship, but outside pressures as well. But you still have them inside your heart. And the Six of Wands also indicating there, especially with the Queen of Wands, that you do feel an intense amount of love for them, and you do see them as some type of goal or objective. And it might feel out of reach, but it is something that you would like to complete. Again, something that you would like to be successful, right? These cards mirror each other, right? But because the world, and they're both like wreaths, and they both have the crow in the middle, talks about success, okay? So you get the idea there. And the Queen of Wands is kind of like the King of Wands, is open energy, but it's a more feminine energy, so it's more about nature and animals and nurture rather than the 3D elements of the things, okay? Taking care of yourself, vitality, being healthy, okay? So again, you have this strong passion for them, right? Okay, so moving on from that stuff, we're now going to get into guidance. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to do 3 tarot card guidance, and then I'm going to do, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 tarot cards and 2 of these oracle cards, okay, and they're going to serve as guidance, all right? So what guidance do you have for the feminines for this week, dear Spirit? We have the 5 of Pentacles, okay? I don't know what the hell that's trying to say. And we have the 3 of Wands, okay? Alright. And then, out of this deck, okay, this is called the Nature Oracle deck, and it's an oracle deck, and I guess it's about nature, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Made by some guy with a name. Alright, perfect. Great explanation of that deck. Alright, so what guidance you got for the feminines for this week, Spirit? Okay, so we got the daffodil. I honestly, on everything, did not know that's how you spelled daffodil. Like, I swear I didn't. I mean, I don't know how I thought you spelled it, but like I've never actually seen the word daffodil spelled out before. And there it is, first time in my life. Huh. To be fair, I never learned how to tie a knot in a garbage bag till I was 20, so, you know, I guess I'm a slow learner. Anyway, daffodil, trust in your power. Okay, I'm going to be reading those on in a little bit, reading what they are about. And secondly, what else do you have for the feminines? We have tulip, trust in your efforts. Funny how in this entire reading it's really all about trusting, especially when I was talking about that judgment card, right? Being able to trust that you're going to have some success. Both of these are about trust. Trust in your power and trust in your efforts. That's really powerful. Like, that's a direct message to you guys and to me, because I count myself as you guys as well, except the male version. Okay, cool. So let me now just first start off with these 2. Okay, so the 5 of Pentacles is a guidance. Okay, is really saying first and foremost to be careful. Financially, don't spend what you don't have. Though, if you wanted to take it beyond that and put it into regards of this relationship, then what it's trying to say to you, and to me, of course, as well, is to tread lightly, be careful. You know, it's a test of resources. Basically saying that the time you're going through right now is simply a test. It is not anything meant to hurt you, because after we have the 3 of Wands, because that's waiting for success to come in. That's waiting for your ships to come home. It's about action and adventure. It's about projects starting to become realized, right? You've had the 4 of Wands, you've had the 5 of Wands, you had the 7 of Wands, I think you had the 9 of Wands, Queen of Wands, King of Wands. You've got a lot of wand energy in this reading. So it's all energy, all this passion in this one reading. So it's just saying that, like, what you're going through right now is a simple test of the universe. It'll be over. Don't worry about it. You know, you're waiting for something to come in, and it's going to come in. Right? That energy, that power that you need that successful resolution that's coming in. That's why in this card, in the top, whatever it is for you, where am I? Right here, you have a star. It represents hope and faith. This crow just waiting for things to come in. Waiting for its success, waiting for the hard work to appear. And it will. Now, with the daffodil and the tulip, I have a little booklet which is unfortunate because I think I left it outside, which is super disappointing to me. But luckily, they have these little explanations for what it means, which is a shame that I don't have it on me. But I will tell you I guess I will just have to read it intuitively just to find out what this is talking about here, okay? So obviously, it's not too hard, but as far as the daffodil and the tulip, okay, trust in your power, trust in your efforts. So I'm going to tell you that right off the bat, beyond just the obvious, which is talking about trusting in your own abilities, the things that you do and the things that you work for have an end result and they have a goal. So being able to trust in your power, the reason that this card comes out, right, first and foremost, daffodil, trust in your power, is because right now you might be at a time where you're not sure that the vision that you have is going to be a successful one. In fact, you may have been holding on to this vision for a long time, especially if it is in regards to your relationship. But what this is saying is that you need to understand that you are a powerful being, meaning that you are not your divine masculine's play toy, or you are not, you are your own person. You have your own ability and you have your own power. In a type of relationship like this, many of us, and what people tend to do in any type of loving type of relationship, is they tend to give their power away to the other person because they want them to be responsible on some level of their happiness. And separation, for instance, exists as, it doesn't really exist because you only feel separated from something that you feel you don't have. But for instance, I don't feel in separation from the flowers outside or the butterflies. I do not feel separation from my ex-girlfriend. Do you understand? I do not feel separation from my parents or feel separation from people I used to date or I used to know. I don't feel separated from them because I'm not attached to them. And when I was attached to them, whether they were platonic relationships or romantic relationships, I always felt the pain because I was constantly attached, giving away my power to them. But remember, separation is that type of illusion because they always are with you. And once you can, trust in yourself, trust in your power, take that leap of faith to believe in yourself again, you'll understand that who you truly are. And who you truly are is enough, right? It's not about being better or changing who you are. It's not about, trying to win them back. It's about trying to win yourself back. When you believe and you trust in your own power, when you try to connect to yourself on a daily basis, when you just say, I think I'm good enough for this, that is how you trust in yourself. That's how you give yourself life, how you give something back to yourself, a gift to yourself. Because the universe puts you through these types of situations, these types of struggles, not to punish you, but so that you can get up and realize that the greatest feeling in the world is taking back your power. And that's why you have the most difficult situation you've ever been in your life, is because the reward is going to be the most rewarding, victorious feeling that you're ever going to get in your life. They're going to even each other out. They're going to balance each other. And the more that you say, I'm good enough, the more that you will get your power back. Because you're good enough to deserve something. Maybe good enough to get money, good enough to do this, good enough to write a book, good enough to start, good enough to not have to go to the gym every day, good enough to start going to the gym, good enough to do whatever you want. You're good enough, you're fine who you are. Trust in your abilities. Trust in that. Trust in what you feel, trust in what you know, trust in yourself. Close your eyes and ask yourself, literally talk to yourself, who are you? Right? You're not your body. You close your eyes and now you're just a stream of consciousness. Trust in that. Trust in yourself. Trust in your own power. Because the successful resolution is literally right around the corner, guys. Okay, especially with all this energy. Secondly, you have the tulip card, which is all about trusting in your efforts. Okay, that is again saying that the work that you've been putting in is it does have a resolution, a successful resolution to it. You haven't been doing things on accident. There's a meaning towards what you've been doing. And while you may not see the results that you want right now, the tulip card is it's really just telling you, again, right around the corner. It's just a little bit away. You just have to keep going. It's that perseverance that gets you there. And there's a quote or something from somebody, I'm not sure who, maybe Stalin, I have no idea, that said 100 or failure or success is just failing 99 times and saying and trying once more, or something along those lines. I butchered that quote, I'm sure, but that's the idea. And so the idea is about persevering. Trust in your efforts. Know that they're leading towards something. And if you're always focusing on the future, then you won't understand what you're learning now. But if you focus on the now and what's going on with you right now, you're going to learn your lessons quicker and find more of your power. So again, also there's that element of just being present where you are, because that's where all your power lies. Because you can't do anything about tomorrow. You have no control over tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't even fucking exist. Because remember, tomorrow isn't promised. Right? And if you let that sink in for a minute, you'll understand the profoundness of it. Tomorrow isn't promised, right? I could die tomorrow picking out flowers. I don't know why I'm picking out flowers or why I'm dying there, but the idea is I could, okay? More than likely, I'm probably dying in an In-N-Out burger, but the idea is tomorrow isn't promised, but what you have is right now. And you always have right now, right when you need it. Always right now. I have right now, right now. And 3 seconds have passed. I also have right now, right? Maybe it's a little bit complicated, or maybe it's super easy to understand, but the idea here is that all your power exists within yourself in this moment, and your efforts that you do put in the moment that you're putting them in, are leading towards something, okay? These cards are just saying, guys, you're almost there, okay? So I really wish I would have had to, I brought the book, I just forgot, my bad. But hopefully, intuitively, I was able to read those cards in a better way. Maybe that was more helpful, actually, than what would have been from the book. Anyway, so now let's do the outcome, okay? So this is the outcome between you and your masculine. So I'm going to pull 4 cards, okay? So what is the outcome, dear spirit, for this group of feminines and their masculine? Okay, so the first card is, this is good guys, okay, is the 2 of Cups, okay, that's about partnership, union, being in love, expression of feelings. You then have the 10 of Wands, so this is really about laying down your burdens together, okay, completing something. You then have the Hierophant, so higher learning, knowledge, key to wisdom, being guided by your spirit guides, type of spiritual connection again. And what else is the outcome, please? Then we have the Knight of Cups, which is about a proposal, a love proposal, okay? Doesn't necessarily have to be about love, but this is an outcome between a romantic partner, so it's going to be about love. Okay, so you notice that you have the 2 of Cups, you have 2 Cups cards, right, on the outsides. So, saying that, and then you have 10 of Wands and the Hierophant. So you have 1 major arcana, okay? And again, another Wands card. I think we have used every Wand card except 8 and 2 of, well, we've used almost every Wand card in the deck here. So, just more Wand energy. 2 of Cups. So as a future outcome for you guys, there's this type of union, this type of coming together, this type of friendship, this type of talk, this type of communication, right? Something happening to you guys, okay? You're going to be able to put your responsibilities away, put the burdens down. Hierophant is suggesting that this is going to be more of an internal process, more of a higher stage of learning. A lot of you guys, the potential state of this relationship, you guys are going to be finding the inner wisdom to understand each other. Okay, there's going to be some help from the universe essentially, and others. Okay, so other people are actually helping you on this journey. So keep an open mind. Okay, but essentially this is saying that some force is going to help you guys come together. Whether it's universal, whether it's somebody else, whether it's a friend, it could come in so many different varieties of varying methods of how you two come together. But it is going to be universally, people are helping you guys get back together. It doesn't have to be something simple action, right? It could be you find a new book or website or person that helps you understand the twin flame relationship more. And because you came across that by chance, that actually is part of your lessons in growing, and that helps you get back together, right? Every single step is part of something leading towards something, okay? That's the idea here. But it doesn't have to be just that. It could be like a person that comes in, or it could be some advice that you get, okay? Keep that in mind. And then finally you have a proposal, which I suspect would be from your divine masculine. Some type of legitimate, a genuine offer. Though the only warning that comes with the Knight of Cups is that he may come to sweep you off your feet, and it might not necessarily be a good idea at the time, right? I've had exes come back, try to sweep me off my feet, but only just after they stopped seeing the person they were seeing with. Do you know what I mean? In which case, you can't really trust that. Our relationship ends and they try to come back, sweep you off your feet. In that space, my advice would be to not trust it or to be very careful, okay? But always use your own intuition. Don't really listen to anybody else when it comes to stuff like that. But it is a proposal, okay? So the state of your relationship is going to take some turns for the better. There's just some responsibilities and burdens that you guys have right now that, again, need to be let go of. And so I would give yourself and give this relationship, I don't want to say the rest of the year, and even then you guys might be not like that idea, but there's only 2 months left. And honestly, relationships go by seasons, holidays, right? The type of things that this twin flame relationship would grow by. 2020 is a year of union. 2019 is all about preparation. So just give yourself some time, but expect there to be some type of proposal, some type of union, some type of talk, communication, okay? And you guys are on the right path towards it, okay? Again, a lot of wand energy, a lot of actions, okay? So, a lot of stuff that you guys are doing, and I hope this reading was helpful, all right? And thank you so much for watching. All the information about all the services that I provide are going to be in the description box, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, all right? Don't smoke too much weed like I did, all right? Thanks, guys. See ya.